Chris Brown recently dropped off his music video for his latest single entitled Sensational, and visually, the track is simply stunning. The video opens with a 3:4 aspect ratio in this black and white chromatic theme. It then transitioned to an overlay of some animation on top. And at first, these animations aren't necessarily clear as to what they represent because they do not stay on the screen for more than a second. We then get our first correlation to what we can expect from 1111, and it's this mirrored effect of someone writing the 1111 album name through a mirror, but it's reflected. This is when we see the set design and we see the dancers. I must say they look pretty good in their suits. I like the colored hair coordination that was going on with Chris being the blonde in the middle. So that was really dope. And then we have this interesting set design. It's really three main sets. We had the one where they're dancing on this almost like it's a magnet. It looks like a magnet, but it could be a U. And then we also have this lush, foresty, almost like a garden set design, which adds a lot of color and depth and dimension to the video visually. Then we have this almost scenic, angelic kind of higher level of consciousness scene with this glass flooring and this red misty cloud. It's interesting to point out some similarities that I've picked up through this video, as it is Chris's only second afrobeat single as a lead artist. I do realize the spotlights that were in this video were similar to the ones, if not identical to the ones that we found in the Call Me Everyday music video. However, this time around they were used in a more fascinating way, as the lights were behind the dancers, which created this interesting almost black and white silhouette visual composition, or almost as if though these spotlights weren't the only thing providing lighting in this scene, as it was clear that there was an overhead main light above them. You could also tell that it was a lot dimmer than the lights that were behind the dancers, so it created an interesting dynamic visually. I love the juxtaposition of the choreography, especially when it transitioned from one step while they were on the magnet looking stage compared to when they were in this more lush grassy field, which was more outdoor-ish, even though it was a set. I just liked how seamlessly it transitioned from almost this monotone grayscale-ish kind of look, even though it was in color, to this drastic change of color and vivid imagery popping out, and how much the dancers' suits, even though they were still wearing their black suits in both sets, how much it added a lot of dynamic to the video visually. So I really like that. The choreography was simply superb. It was this composition of afrobeat moves with a little hints of dancehall here and there, and then Chris does this thing that I remember him kind of doing on his single from a few years ago, Back to Love, where it's this blend of Michael Jackson with afrobeat. So I really like the correlation there. I think it worked even better here than it did in that previous video. I just love some of the moves. I love when he did the little rotate thing on the beat of the 808, one of Lojay's section. So that was pretty interesting. We then go further into this world that Chris is attempting to build, and we get this again, the scene that I mentioned earlier, the glass floor and the red cloudy mist. We have scenes of Lojay and both Chris, and a quick snapshot of Davido while he was in that I want to refer to it as somewhat of a parallel universe or a alternate dimension. And again, we see imagery of mirrored visuals with a lot of shots being taken from beneath them or from the floor level where you could see the reflection of what was going on, which seemed to be the theme of 1111. It's almost as if everything is being mirrored back, which I think is a very interesting concept, as the number 1111 would be that mirror, would be itself mirrored back. So I like the idea of mirroring things throughout this era of Chris's music videos, and I think hopefully his songs. It is something similar with Indigo, which had double part songs, which focused on the same theme, but were approached differently, sonically and lyrically. So hopefully 1111 does follow suit in that regard. But yeah, this video was actually really sensational, as its name suggests, and I think it takes a step above Summer Too Hot. Y'all know how I felt about Summer Too Hot, as I did give a review on that track. Sensational even tops that off, so it's easily a 11 out of 10 for me. Really enjoy that, and I'm looking forward to whatever Chris has to offer visually and sonically going forward.
When I close